you're watching our time. Natalia Sopit is here in the studio for you, and I'll tell you the main news at this hour right now. The second massive shelling of Ukraine this week. Overnight, Russia launched 36 missiles and nearly 600 attack drones at Ukraine. Air defense forces managed to shoot down or suppress with electronic warfare systems a total of 577 aerial targets, including 558 drones, a Kinjal aeroballistic missile, 12 cruise missiles, 4 ballistic missiles, and 2 guided air-launched K-59/69 missiles. The main direction of the Russian strike was Kyiv and the surrounding region. The number of casualties in the capital is rising. It is already known that more than 30 people have been injured, 19 have been hospitalized, and 2 people have died. Part of the capital has been left without electricity and heating. Our correspondent, Kristina Dombrovskaya, is in one of Kyiv's districts. Hello, Kristina, and we're currently waiting for additional details from you right now.
Greetings, colleagues. Unfortunately, it was yet another devastating and tragic night for Ukraine, and especially for the city of Kyiv. Russia has intensified its massive attacks on Ukraine. Yes, as you said, the main target today was Kyiv and the Kyiv region. In particular, the air raid alert lasted for more than almost 11 hours last night. As far as I know, this is probably a brand new record. Right now, you can actually smell the strong, lingering scent of burning in the air. There's still some smoke gently drifting and hanging in certain places, and scattered debris crunching underfoot. We are currently standing here in one of the hardest hit and most severely affected districts of the capital city. For example, this particular 5-story residential building right behind me, a missile, or it's not yet entirely clear what exactly it was, and more detailed information will be provided later about what it was. It is known that there are casualties, dozens injured, and in particular, 2 people preliminarily reported dead in this building. It is known that the upper floors caught fire. Many residents miraculously managed to survive in their own apartments. Some people did manage to get down to the shelters in time and wait out the alert there. Thanks to this, and due to their quick thinking in the situation, they survived remarkably and did not sustain any injuries at all. Let's listen to the residents' comments now.
The balcony windows were blown out, both in the kitchen and in the room. Even in the bathroom, something happened. The tiles fell off. I wanted to close the doors, but the fire, it just came right into my room. They still are. When all of this started, I opened the front door, the locks, but the keys, well, I barely had them on me. So it wasn't because of that. It just blew out the windows in the kitchen and the balcony, completely tore it apart. Everything is covered in glass. The kitchen, the room, everywhere. Where do I even start? No water, no gas, nothing at all.
At this moment, it is currently known that damage has been recorded in at least approximately 17 different locations in the city of Kyiv. So far, 5 apartment buildings have been preliminarily reported as damaged. Approximately 500,000 residents of the city of Kyiv alone have now been left without both water and electricity. The state emergency service is working tirelessly around the clock to help. Rescue workers on the ground are providing all necessary assistance to affected residents. Colleagues, we will continue to keep you updated from the scene. Back to you.
Thank you, Kristina. Let me remind our viewers, we were joined by Kristina Dombrovskaya. She reported on the aftermath of the Russian Federation's attack on Kyiv. The Kyiv region was also hit by a Russian strike. It is known that 1 person was killed and 14 were injured. Destruction and fires have been recorded in 5 districts of the region. 13 apartment buildings and 24 vehicles were damaged. In Brovary, rescuers evacuated 52 people from apartment buildings, including 3 children. As a result of the Russian attack, Fastiv lost power, and the city's critical infrastructure switched to backup power. Chernihiv region was also attacked last night. 2 people were injured. 26 settlements in the region came under Russian fire. This was reported by Vyacheslav Chaus, head of the Chernihiv Regional Military Administration. Several explosions were heard in Chernihiv. A house was damaged and a warehouse caught fire. Energy infrastructure facilities and residential buildings were damaged. Several cars were affected by drone strikes. The situation in the region remains tense, Chaus noted. As a result of Russian shelling in the Kherson region, one person was killed and 12 others were injured. In Belozerka, an FPV drone struck a car, killing a man. Russia also used multiple launch rocket systems for the attack. In Berislav, 2 people were hospitalized, and residents of Belozerka, Chornobaivka, Kherson, and Priozerne were also injured. They suffered blast injuries, shrapnel wounds, and burns. Energy infrastructure and civilian facilities with many damages in fires in residential buildings. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelenskyy commented on the overnight Russian shelling of Ukraine. According to him, if Moscow refuses to stop drone and missile strikes, pressure must be applied to it. It is time for Europe to make a decision regarding the frozen assets of the Russian Federation.
We need to work without losing a single day to ensure we have enough missiles for air defense systems, to have everything necessary for our protection, and to put pressure on Russia. It is time for Europe to make a decision regarding the frozen assets. If Moscow refuses to stop drone and missile strikes, and we definitely need to talk with all our partners about steps to end this war. Thank you to everyone who is helping. Volodymyr Zelenskyy, President of Ukraine, on Telegram.
While everyone is discussing the points of peace plans, Russia continues to carry out its own military plan of 2 points, to kill and to destroy. This is how Foreign Minister Andriy Sybiha responded to Russia's combined attack on Ukraine last night. According to him, Putin wants to prolong the war at any cost, a war he cannot win, and that refuses to end. But the international community has the means to make the price unbearable for him, Sybiha is convinced.
We call for additional and unwavering support for Ukraine's defense and resilience, tougher and more comprehensive sanctions against Russia, and a prompt and decisive decision that will allow the full use of frozen Russian assets. The power of unity and pressure on Moscow remain crucial for advancing peace efforts and forcing Russia to end the war. Andriy Sybiha, Ukraine's Minister of Foreign Affairs, on social network X.
The Kremlin is not interested in peace, commented Sweden's Minister of Foreign Affairs, Maria Malmer Stenergard, on last night's Russian shelling of Ukraine. According to her, it is necessary to increase support for Ukraine.
It is clear that Russia does not want peace. Those countries that still believe in a rules-based world order must immediately increase their support for Ukraine and step up pressure on Russia. Maria Malmer Stenergard, Sweden's Minister of Foreign Affairs, on social network X.
Poland scrambled its air force and brought its air defense systems to full combat readiness due to the Russian Federation's attack on Ukraine last night. According to the operational command of the Polish armed forces, fighter jets were scrambled and ground-based air defense and radar systems were put on alert to protect the country's airspace. Meanwhile, in Moldova, 2 drones violated the country's airspace. Ukrainian border guards warned their Moldovan counterparts about a possible incursion. As a result, part of Moldova's airspace was temporarily closed. Moldovan authorities continue to monitor the situation. The Bundestag has approved Germany's budget for 2026 with record aid for Ukraine, according to Spiegel. Parliament has approved Chancellor Friedrich Merz's government spending of more than 500 billion euros. That's 21.5 billion more than this year. More than a third of the budget is allocated to labor and social welfare. Defense spending will rise to about 108 billion. This is a record high since the end of the Cold War. Ukraine will receive 11.5 billion for artillery, drones, armored vehicles, and other weaponry. There were explosions on 2 Russian tankers in the Black Sea near the Bosphorus Strait. This was reported by Reuters. The first to be affected was the Kairos tanker. The vessel may have hit a mine. An explosion occurred and a fire broke out. The crew of 25 people was evacuated. The second explosion happened on the Varad tanker. There were approximately 20 crew members on board at the time. Both ships are currently under sanctions. Germany recorded record drone activity over Bundeswehr military facilities in October. Previously, drones were observed over Army air bases, but now naval facilities have become the main target, according to Reuters. The German Navy, the largest among Western allies in the Baltic region, suffers the most from drone activity. The Baltic Sea has gained strategic importance for NATO after Russia's invasion of Ukraine. In response to the drone threat, Germany and NATO are increasing monitoring and security in the region.
Subscribe to The Gaze and stay updated on the most important events, top news from Ukrainian all over the world, in-depth analysis, exclusive reports and interviews, all on hand in our channel. Join our community of viewers and stay tuned.